Patriots, lend me your ears and strap on your tinfoil hats because it is time for the. Oh wait, we missed the gay frog chat. Well, then it's 2A taco titty, but there's other stuff we're talking about tonight. Fuck, we're calling it goddamn gay frog tacos because we're doing both things tonight, man. So I hope everybody's down for a little bit of column A and a little bit of column B. We're talking about current events. We're talking about what is today in history? If anyone knows, anyone?
Killdozer Rampage.
Oh, there we go, the Killdozer. As well as some your favorite gun topics and things will be talked about tonight. So I hope everyone's looking forward to it and everyone's into it, and we'll keep doing it for now. I guess. Fine. Anyway, we are joined by an Ohio Patriot. How do you do, good sir?
Body's hurting like a bitch because I gotta take a shot this week, but not too bad.
You gotta take another shot.
Yeah, I gotta take a Trem-5 every 6 to 8 weeks or so, give or take.
I shaved the beard. What do you guys think? I look like a young little boy.
Yeah, it doesn't look right.
Doesn't.
Well, I'm so used to you having like a goatee or something.
There, if it's blurry, it's even better. That way you can't really see me. I prefer that. Anyway, we are also joined by a Windy Howler. How do you do, Mr. Howler?
Oh, how's it going today? Pretty good. Interesting day of memes on the internet with it being Marv Day.
Sí, muy spicy. Hoy es muy spicy. Caliente. Calor.
Also, on this day of history, I think North Korea banned the internet for its citizens. I saw that in a meme. I don't know how true it is.
Well, I mean, they didn't want them getting any ideas about killdozering their fucking... I actually don't know anything about North Korea very much. I don't know much about North Korea. And that's okay, because we don't need to know much about them, because they're insignificant little peons. Anyway, Lawfully Armed. How's it going?
Good. Thanks for having me.
Very good, sir. Very good. Hope everything is well. And Muffin Top wasn't here earlier, but is he now? There is no Muffin Top. Only Zool.
It's topless chat.
So I came across this kind of a cool little animation or whatever. The difference between 22, 380, 9mm, 45, and it goes on. It's kind of cool. Thought we'd just have this playing on a loop in the background for the beginning here. I'll turn off the fucking music. I don't need that. So yeah, what are you guys carrying today? What is your carry gun these days? I mean, I'm still carrying my 642 single action.
Glock 19.
I can show because it's in a holster, right? I think, and I'm blurry. I don't know. We'll find out. Glock 19.
Yes, sir.
It's not a bad choice. Although it's a little bit big for a carry gun for me. What's that?
Sorry.
You just cover it with a t-shirt.
Yeah. How y'all doing, sexy fucks? Are we nuked yet?
Muffin Top's trying to be more family friendly on his chat, so he's gonna come spread all of his profanity on yours.
So he just comes over here and spreads his debauchery and filth on my channel.
We're gonna keep it PG. How you doing? Sorry, I'm late. You were late, so it counts.
6 lashes.
Do you carry any of these calibers? Do you have any of these calibers that they're shooting right now? I've got a couple of them. I don't have 223 Super. What the fuck is that?
I have no idea.
No idea.
It's an AI caliber. It's made up.
223 suppressed.
No, Super. Oh, or is it suppressed? Is that what that means? Okay, that makes more sense.
So it's just showing the exit of the barrel with all the powder residue, or what?
I don't know. I just thought it was cool. I'd have it playing in the background.
I love it.
This is to teach you about terminal ballistics and what's the most effective. Because
It's
damn,
not
dude, I would
showing,
not want to get shot by
But
it.
these are external
it's not
ballistics.
showing it's not showing any of the ballistics. What are you talking about, you fool?
It's the flight
External.
ballistics.
You got
They're all
internal
going
ballistics
straight.
that's inside the bore.
Now, and if
External
it's Pride
ballistics.
Month, they'd be all be coming out and going all crazy which way and whatever. With purple and pink hair.
380s for
I like
bitches.
that SUV. Hey. I'm bitches.
I watched a video of someone shooting a 380 at a moving car and they bounced off the windshield.
I mean, that was the reputation 45 had. That's why 38 Super exists.
Yep, 38 Super is the superior caliber. That's why it has taken over the world.
I thought 38 Super existed because Mexicans couldn't have 9mm in Mexico.
Well, because
No,
they can't
that's
have
why
a
it's still
military
popular.
caliber.
That's just racist Ohio. It's also Puerto Rican.
Yeah, because they're not allowed to have military calibers. So 9mm parabellum, specifically in the name, means for war. They cannot have that. So they choose bullshit.
Yeah, now we got 9mm Mexican. That's what the MM's for, you see. Are we nuked yet?
You're gonna make
Mexican
sure of that.
beans.
You're gonna make sure of that, aren't you?
Kind of a
Speaking
blue
of
falcon.
Mexico, did you guys see that they got their first female president down there now?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
she's kind of hot too.
She's bleeding all over it. It's not red enchilada sauce.
She's also a hardcore lefty.
You guys remember that that video of that person who got arrested in Colorado and the cop car that they put her in was on train tracks?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Who's fucking echoing really bad?
Is it
Hold
me?
on. Hold on, let's check. I think it was whoever just muted themselves just now. Or maybe it is you. No, it is totally you, you fucker.
It's me, really? Well, get
Let's test that again. Yep, it's 100% you. You
On my
fucking
phone.
cocksmoke.
I'm on my phone because I wanted to play a video game.
You're fine. Just mute yourself when not talking.
No.
All right, well, then I'll mute you when you're not talking. I won't do that.
Makes sense. I'll switch to my fucking PC. Fuck this
I'm
stupid
sorry.
thing.
I'm a dick.
You are a dick.
Anyway, do you guys remember that when they put that chick in the back of the fucking cop car and the fucking train came by and then smashed the goddamn train? I mean, the cop car with the train?
Yes.
Are you the only one who remembers this? I remember
No,
this.
honestly, I remember before you got onto Muffin for echoing.
Anyway, the chick survived somehow, even though she got hit by a train in the back of a cop car, handcuffed in the back of the fucking cop car. But she got an $8.5 million settlement.
Not enough.
You are really blurry.
Good. But the important thing is that person that made that mistake still a cop?
Probably for a different jurisdiction or whatever. Because that's the way it works, right? Same thing with fucking priests or teachers that suck. It's like, oh, you're a fucking Catholic priest and you raped a little child. Cool. We'll just put you in a different fucking church across the fucking country in some other city and make sure that you don't get around children as much and cover it up and never talk about it again. It's great.
Oh yeah, that's not too bad.
Well, before
Oh,
the
you're right.
internet, that was the way to escape charges.
Oh, you're a fucking police officer that did some fucked up shit that fucking got someone killed or seriously hurt or whatever. Well, it looks like you're not a Denver police officer anymore. You're in Greeley. Like,
Yeah, and if you fuck up there, then you're going to mall security.
well, no, you fuck up there, you go to Illinois or some other state. You'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
Did they was there a settlement for the guy that was in the car that the Acorn cop shot up? I was kind of wondering how that
I don't think he got hit. So if there is a lawsuit, at least it's not like a bodily injury lawsuit, but certainly like they put him in fucking risk of bodily harm for sure. I don't know what kind of lawsuit you can get for that.
I feel like the guy should
Emotional
definitely buy him new underwear and pants at least, because he totally shit himself.
Here's a
I mean,
question: did the DA keep the charges that whatever they filed against them? I don't even know what it was. Wasn't it for like domestic something or whatever? But wonder if they dropped his charges.
I mean, it would suck to be like, oh, I was shoplifting or whatever, you know, and then an acorn fell and I almost died, but you're still gonna stick me with that shoplifting charge, aren't you?
You look like a young man with your face shaved.
Not bad for a 42-year-old man, eh?
You're going for that tighter puss, aren't you?
I can't even see him. The live stream is over his face.
Good.
It's only for the cool people, not the plebes.
Have you
Yeah.
been carded yet when
There you go.
buying booze?
Excellent. Nice hat.
Yeah, we buy booze. It's okay. Oh, here we have a 2011 Cat D9 project. See description, $52,000. Zoning board came to their senses, no longer need. My loss is your gain.
Yo, have you got, on another note, what the hell happened to that 3-year-old that got shanked in fucking Ohio? What's going on with Ohio? Y'all crazy motherfucker.
So, some crazy ass black woman went into a thrift store, either bought or stole a knife from the place. Seems like she probably stole it. And then went to a Giant Eagle, like a block away or something, if that even, and walked into it, looked for somebody to attack, found a mother and her child who happened to be white, and proceeded to stab the mother and the kid and killed the 3-year-old in the attack.
Jesus Christ.
Wait, I saw that video. I didn't realize that she had a like. It's not a very easy video to like see what's going on. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't even realize that she had a knife, let alone that she stabbed the little girl and the girl's
It
dead.
was a little boy. It was a little boy and his mother.
So the little boy's dead.
Yes, Julian Wood is dead.
Dude, imagine, okay, and I hate to even fucking say this at a time like this because it's such a tragedy that kind of thing would happen, but like reverse the fucking races again.
It'd be all over the news.
Yes.
Well, not only that, but there would be outrage across the country. It would be on every talk show. They'd be like, oh, racism is alive in this country, and here's the proof, and then shove it down everyone's throats, and they would, you know. But since it's the way it is, I mean, this is the first time I'm actually hearing it. I obviously I saw the video, but I didn't put together what had happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucked up. I just heard about that at the tail end of the workday.
Yeah,
Dude,
I
if
first
that
heard
was
about
your
it.
kid, wouldn't you just like peel that lady's fucking face off with a plastic spork until she died?
No, because I'd be worried about my dying child.
Yeah.
Well, after the child dies.
I don't know, dude. Like, be realistic about that shit. Your kid's fucking stabbed and bleeding out in front of you. Your first instinct isn't to be like, oh, let me go after the person and get them.
Yeah, but say the dad, okay?
Jesus.
The dad wasn't there. You know, you're coming in fucking whenever.
The dad was right there when it fucking happened.
Really? All right, I haven't seen the video. I'm retarded. What kind of fucking bitch let his wife and son get stabbed?
I don't think he knew what was going on.
Jesus.
They're just walking, and then all of a sudden, this lady fucking attacks him out of nowhere without provocation, without warning. Like, I guess you just have to have your head on a fucking swivel ready to fucking shoot a motherfucker in the fucking face at the drop of a fucking hat.
Yep.
All right. I mean,
Yeah, the whole thing was 5 seconds between the time.
Yeah, because if you're not ready to do that shit, then you weren't stopping that, bro. If you're not willing to instantly like be like, oh, that bitch has a knife, I'm shooting her in the fucking face 5 times within the first half second of realizing that she's even in my peripheral vision, you're not saving that child.
let me go watch this fucking video.
Fuck, dude, I'm sorry, but it pisses me off.
Did you see the one in Germany this week? Or the German cop? Well, there was a migrant getting all stabby on a group of people, and then the cop came. Some guy was like tackling the migrant. The cop came and tackled the guy that was tackling the migrant, and then migrant went and stabbed the cop in the head.
In the
I
neck,
thought it was
yeah.
right in the neck, yeah. It was a
Well-
right-wing group that was meeting for that.
And the cop was arresting the guy who was trying to subdue the guy with a knife. So he was on top of the guy. So I didn't see the whole video. I just saw like basically a picture and an explanation of what happened. But apparently there was the immigrant with a knife, and then there was the right-wing dude or whatever you want to call him, who confronted him, and then they got into some kind of a tussle, and then the police came, and rather than being like, let's get the guy with the knife, they got the guy that they knew wouldn't stab them or be violent with them. So they were like arresting him and had him down on the ground. And while they were doing that, the migrant with the knife came and stabbed the fucking cop in the neck. Again, dude, you're like, who just said that in the chat?
It was me.
Yeah, Practical Bacon. Unfortunately, it's impossible for you to be on game 24/7, 365.
Yeah.
There are times where you will be, like, if something is going to happen right then, you would have been caught off guard, you know?
The
Like,
thing is, though, going back to this story here in Ohio, it seemed like what had happened there was it was the mother and child leaving the grocery store, and this woman just sort of like U-turned behind them. And she could have actually realized she was not being followed. Like, that is the one thing that should be taken from this whole thing. Like, pay attention if somebody is like, you think somebody's following you.
It's fucked up, bro. Because there's goddamn evil people out there. And whether it's evil or they're just mentally unstable and they're like, you know, on their way out and they want to take someone with them or whatever the fucking case is, there's people that you love. There's people that you care about. There's people who are in your life who need protection. And they're going to catch you and I off guard with some of this stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know. That's really sad that kid died, though.
That's fucked up, man. I had just heard about it. I hadn't seen anything or anything. It looks like all the videos already been scrubbed, so I can't even see it.
How about the Amazon driver that delivered to a house on fire and drove away, didn't even call 911? What the fuck?
What?
I haven't heard about that one.
Was that in Ohio too?
Jesus. Reminds me of the black kids that abducted a learning disabled white kid and tortured him to death on video because he was white and they were black and they felt entitled to their reparations.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah,
that.
that one was in Chicago.
Yeah, they showed videos of him. It was like hours. They just beat the shit out of the kid, dude.
Well, and okay,
they
so
got
that's another thing too. Like it's bad enough you've got evil in the world. It's bad enough that you've got mentally unstable people in this world. But then you also have like this doctrine that you're shoving down people's throats from a young age till they believe it, in which there are people who are oppressed and there's people who are oppressors. And if you're one of the people who are oppressed, then you are justified in doing X, Y, and Z. And if you are one of the oppressors, then you have to do X, Y, and Z. And you know what I mean? Like all of these different things that just follow this whole line of logic that's based upon what? Nothing. It's based upon nothing. It's like the ultimate expression of gender or racial studies, black studies, African studies, whatever the fucking class that I took in 1999 or 2000, whatever that was, my first year of college, and I thought it would be an easy A, and I walked in there like, what the fuck are we learning in this place? Holy shit, dude. That was back then, too, before anyone fucking knew what DEI was or fucking, what is that fucking term? I can't even remember right now. It doesn't matter. But Jesus, man, things have come a long way since the year 2000.
The wrong way, unfortunately.
Like the year 2000 was like the height of our civilization in a lot of ways. Like we were still on top of everything. You know, the dollar was still really, really strong. We had pretty goddamn good economy with the dot-com bubble and all the things that were going on there. And, you know, we had a excess in our fucking budget. We didn't even know what to do with like these billions of dollars that they had collected off all the money that people had been making off the taxes that they paid. You know, it was a different time. It was a different time. And like they just fucked everything. And they've just fucked everything since. And the 9/11 happened. And then they fucked all that up. And then fucking Afghanistan, Iraq, fucking Kuwait, all that stuff happened. Like just fuck all that up. And let's pull out of these countries. We'll fuck that up too. And like now we're in Ukraine and fucking looking at China and fucking Taiwan. We're gonna fuck that up. Like, dude, we're fucked. Sorry to say so many fucks.
That's why I started bettering myself on my chat because I listened to that.
It's hard not to express yourself like that when there's so many things that are just messed up. You know, it's hard not to like drop the F bombs and the SH bombs and all the things.
I know.
I saw a stat today that I thought was really interesting. The average fighting age for Ukrainians is 43.
That's because the rest of them are dead.
How many Ukrainians have died so far in the war?
Yeah, probably.
That's a great question.
Probably 200,000 would be is kind of the estimates I was seeing today.
All right, let's look this up.
It's enough to where they're now having people protecting them from being drafted into the fucking war.
You're always going to have draft dodgers.
Well, no. There's actual videos of like random citizens telling them like, no, you're not going to take this dude and put him into the fucking front lines. And like literally protecting the guy from being like yanked onto a bus or something.
I don't believe 70,000 Ukrainian soldiers have died since the beginning of the conflict.
Maybe soldiers.
I mean,
not all of them are soldiers either. I mean, at this point, they're plucking civilians out of the fucking retirement home.
And this says 10,500 civilians have been killed. Dude, okay, this is another problem. The internet today is so co-opted by the deep state powers that should not be that you cannot believe the fucking figures that you Google or fucking search up. Because they have a vested interest and backdoor fucking policies to come into Google and you know, Facebook, whoever, and say, hey, this is information that makes us look pretty bad here. So if you guys could go ahead and do us a solid and block that shit from being found or downplay this or fudge the numbers here or I don't know. And then they do it the other way too when it's like fucking COVID death numbers, let's say, you know, and they're like, well, we need to make this look as bad as we can. So it's the died with COVID versus died of COVID thing that, you know, we all know about.
well, I was just about to bring that up because we had that discussion with Matt Chat about social media, like how easy it is for people to, you know, a lot of them would fudge the numbers and they all think I'm like, I'm surprised. Like I only seen like certain deaths that's been happening in there. Like when I saw one on Twitter where a couple of them drones and I had to drop a grenade or two at one guy who was like, you know, dying on the trench and shit, and they didn't kill him with the grenade drop.
I mean, as far as I understand, Ukraine is basically getting fucking pwned in this war.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's certain embattlements and emplacements that we paid for, that the United States people, through our government, through foreign aid, gave to the Ukrainian government to build defensive embankments and whatever, right? And then Russia moves into this area, and we're like, okay, thank God we paid for all of these fucking, you know, hardened positions for the Ukrainian soldiers to defend from. And you guys know what happened? Oh, they didn't build them because they contracted out to, like, the politicians who were in control of this money contracted out the bunkers to be built to friends of theirs who pocketed the money and gave them a portion of it, because Ukraine is one of the fucking most corrupt countries in the world. And we just seem to just give them money because I think that we're probably getting kickbacks, not we, but our politicians who are giving them all this money and enriching themselves and future positions and whatever for their children and grandchildren into the future. Yeah. So, I mean, they're supposed to have these defensive positions that are built, and then the Russians move in and there's nothing built. So the Russians just roll over the fucking, that part of the city or whatever it was. And we're like, hey, where's those bunkers? We're like, oh, sorry about that. Like, what do you mean sorry about that? How much money have we given to Russia or to Ukraine so far? I don't know the answer either. It's a fuck ton. Like more money than I will ever see in my entire life.
Yeah, I think it's over $1 trillion at this point. They're pretty damn close to it anyway.
I mean, that's a ridiculous amount of money, dude.
Yeah.
And then you consider how much are we paying a year in interest on the debt that we already owe, and who do we owe that debt to, by the way? Oh, it's over $1 trillion there too. So $1 trillion per year that we're paying on the interest of the debt of the money that we've already spent to debtors who are unnamed, unknown, untrackable, everything. And the system's going to fucking just keep going and everything's fine. This is the plan. This is what we're doing. Right? Did we agree to this? I didn't agree to this.
No, the country was bought and sold before I was of age.
Mm-hmm.
Is it time to start buying D9 cats? Maybe. Okay, there's this story. Thanks to Denver police new policy, drivers in Denver won't be pulled over for minor traffic infractions anymore. Don't worry, it's not like they're going to do anything shady or illegal. So now everyone's driving around, no license plates, no insurance, no nothing. Because in Denver, I mean, as long as you're not like running over babies or something, I guess, or whatever it is, like openly dealing drugs while on the highway. I don't even know how they would see that. But if they saw it, then I guess they'd pull you over. But other than that, you know, minor traffic infraction, what does that include? I'm not even sure. Is it 20 over? So I can just drive 20 over everywhere I go in Denver now and it's fine? Is running a red light a minor traffic infraction?
Probably.
Yeah, I think you can just do whatever you want now.
Nice.
I'm not going to say that I still haven't got my license plates on my motorcycle, and I still drive it all. Wait, I didn't say that.
I got coworkers doing that too. they wilding out. But it's weird where I'm at because it's like they'll catch you for certain stuff, and sometimes they don't. So I think a little bit of speeding now, or when they got those people that do those street takeovers, sometimes they let them go, and they go and do it another day.
So here we have the differences between the Roman aqueduct and the modern aqueduct. Of course, we have the reservoir; it's necessary, and the water intake also necessary. However, the Romans just built a constant slope, like a ramp, that would go all the way to the city. And then you would have a little reservoir at the end of the city where you, right? We kind of have the same thing now, right? You got your reservoir, your intake. So for now, they put it in a tube instead of having the whole thing. And they just bury the tube underground. And they pump it over to a water treatment plant where they add drugs to make you gay, I guess.
Yeah, that checks out.
And then they pump it to the city. So it's almost the same thing. Yeah.
I like it.
It's a cool Minecraft map.
19-year-old Venezuelan illegal immigrant shoots 2 police officers after they tried stopping him on his motorized scooter. The incident comes as Biden offered mass amnesty to the terminating 350,000 asylum cases. Okay, so someone has to explain that one to me. I'm not sure what's going on with that.
So the other day, Biden basically said that he was going to give, I think it was DACA people that were seeking asylum, like 350,000 of them, basically amnesty now, to basically be voters. And at the same time, as of today, he officially was supposed to be signing in something to basically close the southern border, or at least like curtail it now, after he already let in so many fighting age males for the last 3.5 years.
Well, I did hear something about them being like, oh, I'm Biden and I'm limiting how many people can come into the country now that I've told everyone to come in for the past 3.5 years right before the election. It's like, you fucking cocksucker, dude. And how does this limit work? Is it like a daily limit? Like, oh, we're only letting in, 25,000 people a day or something? I forget how it works.
I'm not sure, but somebody who was on the Mexico side of the border the other day found passports from I forget which country it was from like a week ago. Like it was not any country like near us, basically.
Oh, but don't worry. His new border policy is really cracking down on the border. He's only going to allow 1.5 million in a day. Thanks, Biden.
I guess ICE and other agents are going to have their hands tied for probably a decade if we ever get it shape up.
Well, apparently this guy used a high point in the shooting. The
That's like one
Venezuelan
of the
guy.
380 versions too.
3D what do you mean? He printed it?
No, I said
380.
380 versions. Because they sell 9mm and 380 for the high points.
Oh, okay. You kept cutting off when you were saying the thing that was important to understanding that sentence.
Damn it, Ohio.
Well, it's the internet doing that.
Damn it, the internet.
Right-wing extremism. Government report warns. Wait, what is this? Oh, sorry. Reading Lord of the Rings in 1984 could lead to right-wing extremism. Government report warns.
Yep.
Got to cut off the important part right there.
I like that.
Miss Piggy. Nobody needs a 30-round magazine.
Eat that piggy.
It's
Now
a lot
I'm
of piggy.
hungry.
What's your favorite animal to eat? Is it pig?
Yep. Indeed.
Pretty much right now, or seafood.
Chicken's so versatile.
Yeah, man. Sure.
I still like the cows, man. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, steak's great.
Honestly, between cow and pig, there are so many different cuts of meat. It's hard to decide which is better.
Mhm.
Bacon wrapped deer backstrap, cooked to a perfect medium rare.
Yeah, I like me some ribs, some pork ribs.
Medium
Bacon.
rare deer. Isn't that how you get fucking deer disease?
Nope.
Can't you get deer disease by eating medium rare deer?
It's fake news.
I mean, chronic wasting disease?
Yeah, they're talking about the chronic wasting and then the tick shit.
I don't know. Whatever you get from eating deer.
I'm fine. Look at me. I'm a tactical and a muffin top.
I mean,
Yeah,
you
I
get a
mean,
lot of
try
stuff
deer.
from eating a lot of undercooked animals.
Wendigo
fine.
disease.
You eat rare pork and let me know how you're doing.
They say today's pork is safe. Like
Yeah.
Actually, you can eat it slightly pink. Oh, you guys over doing your pork chops are missing out.
It's
Just had some
bears
pork
that you gotta
chops
look
today.
out for.
Had some smothered pork chops and gravy.
Mm.
I don't know, man. When I do pork chops, I cook them till they're like crispy. I'm good like that.
Mhm.
I like a good crisp as well.
Because they usually have so much fat on them. You got to cook them till some of that fat melts off. Otherwise,
Use that bacon grease you saved.
that's no
Yeah,
bueno. Oh shit! What did I do? Oh, we got to find out where we were. Blah blah blah. We got the gay Roman aqueducts. Oh, there's the 380 high point. Lord of the Rings. Oh, Miss Piggy. Here we are. Star Wars, if it was filmed today. You misgendered me.
Oh my God.
You misgendered yourself.
No. Fucking
Well,
no.
it fits with that interview. If you saw that Acolyte interview,
No, I didn't. Acolyte interview. What are you talking about?
pretty much, people do the whole talking of a show or a movie, and it's like one of the Hollywood people talking to the director and maybe one of the actresses. They pretty much was just saying like Star Wars is gay.
I can kind of agree. Okay, if we're looking at Star Wars versus other franchises, there's more gay Star Wars than there is gay shit in most other franchises. You got to admit.
I could throw some other franchises, but they're probably in Western.
Like I'm thinking like Star Trek. I'm thinking like I don't know, like Tolkien universe or the MCU or think of another fucking like Lord of the Rings. I don't know. I guess it's Tolkien. Whatever.
Well, do you consider only the first 3 movies the real Star Wars or the whole shebang?
The whole shebang, because there's a lot of fucking Star Wars, right?
Yeah.
Just like there's a lot of fucking Star Trek. Just like there's a lot of fucking Lord of the Rings. Just like there's a lot of things.
Love it.
And there's a lot of fucking gay ass shit, fucking woke bullshit, fucking retarded ass, poorly written, like terrible dialogue, awfully done, ruining the fucking story, Star Wars. There's some of that in Star Trek too. I mean, like, let's not forget
Yep.
Star Trek Discovery. That was an abortion from beginning to end. Star Trek Picard, also an abortion from beginning to end. But I guess that could be said of anything that's done like modern, right? Like even look at like Willow. Like Willow, great fucking movie back in the day. Like huge fucking thing, you know, and then kind of like went away into the wayside and no one thought about it for a long time. And then someone picks it up fairly recently on Netflix or whatever it was, or whoever did it. And then just made it so gay that no one could fucking, and then they had to cancel it because it was so gay that they were like, no one's watching our gay show. I guess they're all homophobic. That sucks. Like, I don't know what their excuse is when they go to their fucking boss and say, hey, here's why we lost $20 million.
Well, they did the same with Rings of Power, and then what's that one show with the guy that played Superman, The Witcher. The first season was like pretty cool, and then it went downhill. Like
I didn't watch this. I guess I didn't watch the second season of Witcher.
Just don't.
And you're right. The fucking the Lord of the Rings thing. Yeah, there was some gay Lord of the Rings shit again, but like the vast majority of Lord of the Rings stuff is pretty good. There's some gay Star Trek shit. The vast majority of Star Trek shit's pretty good. There's some gay Star Wars. There's a lot of gay Star Wars.
I can only think of one good series that's good that is gay per se.
And yes, Willow was a big movie in 1988 or whatever, 87.
I still like Willow.
When it came out, I mean, it was George Lucas's first film, I think, since Star Wars: Return of the Jedi.
Don't need to watch that movie.
And they were doing like, I don't know, new CGI stuff or whatever it was for the time. It was stop motion animation, but it was like state of the art, and it was, you know, so everybody was pretty excited about it. It was George Lucas, and it was I forget if it was his THX or whatever was involved with it, but anyway, Lucasfilm certainly. Last of Us went woke. Fallout 2, I believe. And again, I think that's everything these days, dude. Because it's just like if it's not woke, then the producers aren't fucking approving it, I guess.
Yeah, but Last of Us was at least watchable, and same with Fallout. You know, I enjoy. It didn't bother me then because it wasn't done totally retarded.
Well, we'll see on that second season because it's going to get interesting for that Last of Us, and that's why some of us dropped the game. It's like, oh, this is going to be interesting.
Star Trek makes me think of Starfleet officers fencing in tights. Yeah, that's pretty gay.
They also pulled that shit really hard with Why the Last Man. Like, there was a lot of like cross-dressing in the source material, but they went full trans man in like every fucking episode of that one series they had for that.
I didn't watch it. I read the book, but I never
oh my god,
it.
It was so bad.
I'm pretty sure they kind of skirt some stuff in line, huh? Because they would have been dead.
Well, the problem was they legitimately took like 3 episodes to do nothing, and it was all like woke garbage basically. And then they finally got to like decent shit in like episode 4, but by then it was already so retarded. It's like, why am I still watching the show?
I mean, there's good Star Wars though too, because there's like Rebels, and there's like Star Wars, Clone Wars, like the fucking cartoon was really good. Like they had a lot of like Disney Plus stuff or whatever before it was Disney Plus. So whatever that was called, I'm not sure. That was actually really fucking good. That they did a good job with. That wasn't woke. That was about Anakin Skywalker and, you know, his like transitioning time between being a Jedi and being a fucking Sith, and like missing holes in the stories from the movies, like those missing periods of time where he went from like a boy to a man or whatever. You know, it was good. It was good. At least it wasn't bad. I mean, I wouldn't say it was like cinematic masterpiece or whatever, but it wasn't woke. How about that?
For now.
Anyway, that was a tirade.
Yeah, I've literally just started watching 80 shit, and because I missed a lot of it since I'm, was a sperm in the 90s, and it's way better than the shit they're cranking out today. So,
yep,
dude, like the movies used to be like they would follow this formula, right? It was like, dude's a badass dude has something injustice happen to him. Badass dude fucking gears up and goes after the people that wronged him. Dude fucks a chick somewhere along the way. They find a way to like bring some titties into it. Dude kicks everyone's ass at the end and wins. The end. That's the movie. Like, figure out the details. They need more movies like that. They don't make movies like that. When you hear about people with stockpiles like this being raided, stockpile? Let's count them. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. He's got 15 guns. It's not bad.
Same amount I got. Just not a lot of pistols.
But that's not like a shit ton. I mean, the dude's prepared. I'll give him that. He's got his bases covered. But stockpile? Come on. This kind of made me upset. I'll miss you, Dad. I only wish I could hold your hand one last time. And then you've got the dancing nurses in the background. What was up with that? Like, oh, we're so busy. Oh, we're so understaffed. Oh, like things are so terrible. Oh, so many people are dying that hospitals are closing because they're losing money because reasons. And at the same time, nurses on the clock are doing TikTok dances because they have nothing better to do. Like, what's up with that? Like, what was going on with that?
So as crass as that is, I can understand that acting as some sort of recruiting, and probably for the immediate participants, some sort of morale boost.
Social media, narcissism, pay attention to me. That's what comes to mind for me.
Yeah, it wasn't all across the board. It was only in like certain places, if I'm not mistaken, too.
There was a lot of videos of nurses doing like fucking coordinated dances that they would have to have worked on for hours to put together. Like, no joke. Like, you'd have to work on, because each one of them would have to learn it, and then they'd have to do it together, and then they'd probably have to do it a couple of times on camera until everyone got it right. So you're looking at like 2-3 hours of time between the 10 people doing it. So 30 hours of labor that the hospital paid for so you could do a TikTok dance. I don't think the fucking director is going to be okay with that if he finds out. But
yeah,
whatever.
Meanwhile, all those people were getting even shittier service and care.
Well, I remember my dad was still alive at that time, and he was in an old folks home, and then he had to move to a different one because of reasons. I don't know why. So we had to go help him move, right? And so I had to get a COVID test, and then I had to show up wearing like a mask and a hood and all of these things, and then go like walk down these long hallways carrying fucking furniture, and it was an old folks home, so they had the fucking heat on like 80 degrees inside the place because, they're all old and have no blood flow and fucking need it warm all the time. So I'm just pouring fucking sweat like inside of all of this. Oh, it was terrible, dude. Like, good thing they only let 2 of us in to help him move. And when I say help him move, he wasn't really helping. But it's fine.
He was there for moral support.
Which do you prefer?
MP5.
Yep, MP5.
That UMP is single stack, which actually be it might be double. Okay, that's the double mag. So yeah, but the polymer front takedown pin, the lug, the hinge pin in front of the mag well breaks with high round count.
Plus, isn't it blowback? So you're gonna have higher recoil.
It is.
Yeah.
That was their not slimline. They're cheaper to produce variant, and they offered the caliber exchange kits to different mags and the different barrels.
What's the difference between that and a Streebog? Because it looks like a Streebog to me, more or less.
The Streebog as a company cares to market their products here, whereas HK looks down upon us from their ivory tower.
He's not wrong.
HK hates you, but it's also that German export law kind of hamstrings them. It's a mixture of navigating German export law and American import law.
And American hate.
Yeah, but they have a factory here. I mean, I'm sure if they set up a production line here, they would sell like hotcakes.
They do, but there's some part of that German export law is that if you have sold that gun to the German government, they own like the blueprints or something. That's what I've heard before. That's part of why there are not more holster offerings for Walthers, because even Walther Arms, like USA, their importer / manufacturer / warranty, that's for North America, they can't actually like share like CAD files with holster makers.
Huh.
I'm just starting to think you might be a German there lawfully.
He knows a lot about the Germans, yeah.
You and Mark Malone hang
How
out
do
a
you
lot?
feel
Or?
about the Jews?
I think the question we should be asking is why haven't we seen another company come out with roller delay? Because HK was kind of the only one that did it.
I think it's kind of a bitch to make a roller delay correctly, right? I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but the Germans are the only ones doing it. Like, who else is doing roller delay?
You've got the Set Me and Set Me L. And then technically CMMG's Banshee, all their radio delay stuff is functionally the same thing. It just is rotational roller delay as opposed to being like a flapper or whatever.
Yeah, it just seems like a fairly fucking complicated system when you've got gas blocks and things that have already been worked out and engineered and work just fine,
Yeah. Well, it is for a commercially like viable product, something where you're going to sell it to somebody once and then they're just going to own it. There's no scheduled maintenance and whatnot. When an agency owns it and they have somebody go through an armorer's course or they under contract send them back every so often, where someone qualified can change out the rollers, the service life on the gun is longer. But those roller delayed guns, when you run them hard, over time they have to replace them with larger and larger rollers to fill that void because that metal stretches.
Yeah, I've heard that. I don't know how many rounds that is versus like how many rounds the barrel will last or whatever, but again, it just seems to me to be like overcomplicated when there's other solutions to the same problem.
Mm-hmm.
And especially when like the other solutions being either DI or fucking piston, then yeah, like I don't know, it just makes sense to go with the ones that work, the ones that are easily accessible and already work, I should say.
Well, for pistol calibers, I mean, blowback is fine. That's why HK went back and did that. That's why your Streebog, your Scorpion, I mean, even your modern stuff, most of it is blowback.
What kind of system does Chris Vector use?
It is blowback, but it uses that toggle link, like the vector action. That's why it's got that like fat shit behind the magazine forward to the trigger guard. It's like an upside down Luger bolt. It flaps down. And the idea is that extra mass flapping down is supposed to oppose the upward pull of the recoil.
I'll let you know the recoil fucking sucks on those Chris Vectors.
Yeah, the semi-autos suck.
Yeah, on full auto they work pretty fucking great.
Semi, it's a bunch of mass flapping around.
I went to a machine gun shoot, and they had one of those in 9mm, and I put a mag through it, and it was like it jumped back at first, but then once it was firing, it was like holding a hose.
Did they let you cock it from hammer down?
I don't know what you mean.
Like empty chamber, hammer down. Like the trigger's pulled, trigger's dead, so you've got to rack it for the first time.
No, they handed it to me like ready to go. Just take the safety off. So,
well, if you dry fire one on an empty chamber and then go to rack it, it's a motherfucker to crank that thing over. Like you wouldn't throw that to the missus and say, "Hey, load this."
Kowloon Republic, what's up, dude? Dropped in $2 that I had tacos today. Read my membership chat. Oh shit! Membership chat missed that. Sorry. Says glad you're back. Hope all is well. Love the chats. All is not well, and that's okay. Don't know what to say about it.
But you're here now. We can make it fine for a little bit, baby.
Life goes on. You do what you do. Do what you can with what you got where you're at. And then there's this guy. Maybe I'm an NPC. No, having the same opinions as celebrities and major corporations while repeating every media talking point verbatim is what real people do. Duh.
Yeah.
I do get sick of the people who like have a very strong opinion about something that they know very little about. And then as soon as you start talking to them about the facts of the thing that they're so passionate about, it turns out that they really, really don't know much at all.
Like the
Yep, they're just
anti-gunners.
headline readers.
And the things that they do know, they're usually wrong about. That's the other part. Like their presuppositions are all wrong. Gay Ray been coming on to you again, Hondler? I don't know. Has he?
No, they need to be having a good day.
Let's find out. What's his name? P226 Nut?
Yeah, something like that.
The ceiling fan. It's right there.
K-Bar, knife stuff, Benchmade, top 5, knife stuff.
Oh,
Oops,
he said I hate
Not play all.
Hondler.
Where you see I hate Hondler.
I don't know. I just want it to be there. I hate my ex-best friends 11 months ago.
Zionist, don't go to jail. Bella song. Iran. The Ballad of Snabby Mike. What the fuck?
Go back a page. Your
On to
name
the
is
Guns and Geeks podcast. Go back up. Right there. Far right. Up. Yeah. 1 month ago. Don't play it.
Are you okay?
I really miss Honda 1 month ago.
Yeah, there it is.
Left.
Yeah.
Right there. He loved and the ceiling fan action.
Yeah, I did see that video, so it's fine.
Oh, he loves cigars and sardines. He's into sucking things that are salty and smoky and penis shaped.
You
Happy
said you
Killdozer-
liked sardines the other day.
Happy Killdozer Day, everybody.
Yay!
6/4/2004. Man, this guy fucked shit up.
Don't be fucking with the blue collar boys.
And the only person who died was himself.
You know, if they would have arrested him, he probably would have been getting out of jail this year.
I mean, he did off himself. I don't know if you know.
No, I'm saying like if he gave up and they pulled him out of there,
Okay, yeah.
he probably would have got 20 years. He'd probably be getting out sometime this year.
And then he'd be really dangerous.
He'd be old and penniless.
President Joe Biden is expected to issue executive actions Tuesday that would shut down asylum requests at the U.S.-Mexico border once a threshold of migrant encounters has been met. And I said, that's like the Zap Brannigan border invasion method. Wait until the computer reaches the limit of the number of people allowed, then shut it down. That's totally the Zap Brannigan fucking method. I play a macho tough guy in the movies.
I think
But I'm a whining liberal crybaby in real life. Sorry, go ahead.
I think the deal with Biden's deal, he's going to let basically it's going to allow pretty much everything just to be ceased. So everything that has an asylum deal right now is just the case is just going to fall off. So we're never going to know anything about these people or their case or anything like that. So pretty much it's backwards ghetto citizenship so that way they can get votes. And then he said something about, I think if they get up to 1.5 million a day or something like that, then he'll kick them back over. But basically it's just putting something there to save face to say he's cracking down on the border. But it's actually worse than what he's fucking implemented right now.
Mhm.
I mean, even if he was like, all right now, today, we are shutting down the border. No one can come across as of right now. Too late, motherfucker. You already let too many people in this fucking country. Too many people are here from too many places that we don't know where they are. You paid them too much money. You've devalued our dollar. You fucking devalued our labor. You've increased our rent. You've decreased the value of our vote. Every little bit of it has been to fuck us over. And it's too late. It's too late. There's like the train has gone so far down the tracks that it's like that fucking canyon in Back to the Future, you know?
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to make it.
BRB.
Like, we're not going fast enough to go over it, and it's too late to slow down. So, hold on to your butts, everybody.
What was the last movie you think De Niro was good in? I've been trying to think that the last couple of minutes since he pulled that up, and I think, I don't know, maybe like Meet the Fockers.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Meet
He
the
was
Parents is way
okay
better.
in A Bronx Tale in the 90s.
I mean, there's Heat. That's a classic.
What's Odin Fools talking about here? Robert De Niro, quote, "They lied under oath. They lied under oath."
Oh, that was the dumbass speech he gave like a week and a half ago outside Trump's trial, whatever the fuck it was then.
Oh, where he got
Yeah.
like booed and heckled, and everyone was like,
Yeah,
back
and the guy's like, "Oh, you're a fucking cunt, bro. Go fuck yourself."
like,
You gotta love it when your favorite actors be acting crazy.
that's great. You a cunt. Fuck yourself.
Ayo.
Speaking of illegals, read my last chat, sir, says Kowloon.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, a German cop got stabbed while trying to defend a migrant stabber from an unarmed German while he was stabbing. Did y'all talk about that? Yes, we did talk about that already. We did. Quite unfortunate and sad. But I guess it's the way of the world these days. Taxi Driver was the last movie he was good in. Heat.
Don't listen to fucking Mark Malone.
How was the Irishman? No, I didn't like that.
I never
Yeah,
watched that movie.
That was
it
just
wasn't
too
good because of
long.
Robert De Niro. I'll say that.
Okay.
I mean, he was good in Casino, I guess,
I like it too.
and Goodfellas. But that's all he plays is like, "Hey, I'm a tough guy mobster. I'll break out your teeth if you don't do what I say." Cut. All right, where's my caramel macchiato? Fuck you, dude. You fucking
Well, then he
prick
played in that
Wait, yeah,
Dirt
I
Opera
heard that
Beyond
one
Me,
movie.
where he just played like an old perv pedo, basically.
Yeah, I was about to bring that up. There was one like with him with Zac Efron or something. It was like playing like an old comedy, like
Yeah,
old
the movie
man.
was terrible.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Oh, I did it again. God bless America. Okay, hold on. It's all right. We just got to find Robert De Niro's face and you know where we're at. Okay, there we are. There we are.
How could you forget?
25 people shot last night in Akron, Ohio, in the vicinity of, quote, the Hood Market corner store. One person has died. Many others are at the hospital. News story on the blah, 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 blah. Akron, Ohio. 25 people shot in the vicinity of the Hood Market corner store. I wouldn't want to shop there.
This
Ohio,
is
I know
an
you got the
annual
news on
block
this one.
party that goes on every year, I
Thank you.
guess. Somebody's birthday party that happened there. About 10 o'clock Saturday night, they were a bunch of black females out there butt-ass naked, twerking in the streets, and a bunch of dudes getting into it back and forth. Cops were called. They told them basically, hey, disperse. 2 hours later, shots were fired right around midnight.
Well, that's new. The newest thing is them doing it after 2 hours later. Usually it's during or like
I think
back
what it
about
was
10
is it was
minutes.
somebody at the party itself they told to fuck off, and then they got in the car, drove
Yep.
around the block, and started opening fire on the people then. Because they found 2 guns at the scene, and they said there was both pistol and rifle caliber ammo casings there. So
Damn, 2 hours. That's a whole wait. Usually it's quicker than that.
Calhoun got it. It's the annual Glock party.
Yeah, because I was like, when he said, "Oh, the corner," so I'm like, ain't that many people get shot down the corner. I'm like, he said it was a party. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, it was like a full block party that was going on there.
I don't know about you guys, and maybe this is wrong to say, but if I was in the hood, if I lived in the hood and there was a hood block party going on, I might find a reason to go to work or to a different area or a friend's house or the library.
Oh, I'll
You
be
just
here
go to
working,
the
but
library.
Well, the woman who was actually interviewed in the local news here, she was like, "Yeah, me and my son were driving past, and we just saw what was going on. It looked like a good time." And they came back like a little bit later, or whatever, and they were like, "Oh, there's cops everywhere now." So,
well, I was about to say, I'm about to. Well, I got work, but I was about to be in a block party for the 4th of July in the hood of Watts. But usually nothing goes down there.
You'll be fine.
You'll probably be all right, but you might not be.
Conceal carry that 243, baby. You got this.
Anyway, stay away from the hood market corner store in fucking Akron, Ohio, I guess. Especially when there's a block party going on.
apparently, where this happened was right by some ex-city councilwoman's house.
I saw this. It was pretty funny. Trump sentenced to 4 years confinement in small Oval Room in Washington, D.C.
Nice. Nice.
Son of a bitch.
Go back up. Look at that guy all the way to the left. His face is like, what the fuck is going on right now? I like that. Sorry.
The central bank's current financial situation.
No, that's worth more than our money right now.
Who was saying the other day that fucking the chairman of the Fed's doing a great job? I forget who said that.
A retard?
Was it somebody on one of the panels, or was it
It was on Matt's chat the other day. I forget.
was it Taco?
Maybe it was Taco. I'm not sure.
Why was his chat pulled down? I was gonna watch that today and it was gone.
I guess he talked about his spicy things. I don't know. I haven't asked him.
Well, it said that he pulled it down, not like it got pulled down.
Right.
Yeah, the first 10 minutes were a little spicy, I think, for the YouTube censors. I think he's probably being preventative.
Doesn't
They
he
are
dual
throwing
screen
out
to
strikes
Rumble
like
too?
candy these days. So if you're not careful on YouTube, you talk about the wrong thing, which, you know, at this point it's like stepping on a fucking landmine. You don't know where you don't know what's a good area to step in versus not these days, but you try to step where people have stepped before and stay off the landmines, and hopefully you can get through a chat without getting a strike. That's how it is. It's like going through Vietnam.
Yeah, they caught me sometime Saturday morning for medical misinformation on my second channel. And then I found out Sunday night that apparently I have access to my first channel again.
Well, what's fucked too is like sometimes they'll be like, "Oh, here's something from 5 years ago. Here's something from 2 years ago that you did or whatever." And we're just looking at it now for some reason and like interpreting it under our rules now, and that's a strike now.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
Owning Fools dropping in money. Thank you, sir. $5. Make you horror. Says Honda, do you think the support is real or is too good to be true for Donald Trump?
No, the support's real.
I think that the support is so real that they're trying to suppress it in any way that they can. I think that the past 3 years, 3.5 years, whatever it's been since Biden has been in office, has been far worse for the average American than any of these politicians or talking heads on the media would like to admit. I think that the people have noticed that their buying power, that their income, that everything is worse under Biden, and that everything that they were promised that Trump would do are exactly the things that Biden then did. They were like, Trump's going to create World War III. Like we're whistling into World War III right now. Trump's going to collapse the economy. The economy is like currently fucking teetering on the edge of a fucking cliff. Like Trump's going to, I forget what the other thing was. Like, remember that article that came out before Trump got elected? And it was like, here's the 15 things that Trump's going to do that's going to ruin the world. I forget what it was. It was from like Time Magazine or something. God, it's been so long.
And it's like fucking Joe just followed it like a goddamn playbook.
Right. And everything in that, it's like, well, here, Biden did that, and Biden did this, and Biden did that. I can't remember what it was, dude.
Well, I mean, I was going to vote Libertarian, but then they nominated frickin' Bendover, or whoever the fuck that guy is. So I
Oh,
guess it's
stripper
back to
dude.
Trump. Yeah.
I swear that
Oh.
the at least like the top of the Libertarian Party itself is co-opted. Like
I agree.
bought and paid for, like, oh yeah, we'll let you have your party. We'll even give you guys some money. We'll let you do this, and here's some breadcrumbs and blah blah blah. But when it comes down to picking the person, we get the say. When it comes down to making the decisions about where the party's going, where what the platform is, we're throwing in our 2 cents and we're fucking steering the ship a little bit, you know? Like they've got one hand on the fucking rudder.
The real question is, did the DNC put him in place to get rid of RFK Jr., or did the RNC put him in place to drive the rest of us towards Trump? That's the real question.
You mean Chase?
Yeah, because, right now RFK Jr. is not stealing all the votes from the DNC.
Well, I mean, traditionally, what does the Libertarian Party get of the votes? Like maybe 0.5% or 1%, something
It's
like
like
that.
2 to 3% at most.
Yeah, it's a very small percentage. So, like, if they stole every bit that they could, they're swinging at 2%, which in some elections would matter quite a bit. But
yeah, in some swing states, I mean, that could, especially the way things are so divided right now. You want to get everything you can get and then make some up.
So one of the Georgia Senate races a couple years ago, this Chase Oliver asshole actually fucked over the Republican Party with that because he was a spoiler candidate for them. He siphoned off just enough votes to where the Democrats got back into power then.
I will say this, though, Onan fools. I keep waiting for the other shoe to drop. Like, the fat lady has not sung yet. The election day has not happened yet. Like, they haven't pulled out all the stops.
He's going to be FKJ.
They've proven in years past, and I'm talking like the 1960s, that if your last name is Kennedy and you're running for office or you're in office and you're doing things that we don't like, then you won't be around anymore. Or, I don't know, like there's other examples of more recent things where people are in prison and are going to come testify about things that are, been going on islands, and then they just get disappeared too. They're just unalived. So I don't know, man. Like, everything's off the table or on the table, however you want to say it, when it comes to this election, because there is no Rubicon that they will not cross in order to get to their ultimate goal, which is retainment of power. And they know that if Trump gets in office, a lot of them are going to be held accountable for the things that have happened in the past little bit here. And whether that means that they just lose their job, or whether that means that they're actually tried in court and jail time and whatever else, I don't know. And that's the other thing, is they think, or at least they suspect, that if Trump gets in office, there's no Rubicon that he will not cross in order to get revenge on them for the things that they did to him. Because as far as I'm concerned, whatever we know about what happened in the public eye, in the public sphere, there's probably a way more intricate, way more sinister, detailed history of the things that actually happened behind the scenes that have been boiling Trump's blood for the past 4 years now, that he's been waiting to get revenge on. And he's probably got a list of names of people that he's like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, you're cool. Like,
Good.
You know what I mean?
I hope he gets to act on it and he's not FKJ'd.
Well, and I mean, think about what happened last time he got elected too. Like, as soon as he got in office, like, okay, the president gets in office, he has to pick his cabinet and get all those people in place, right? And usually that happens pretty fucking quick. You pick your people, they do their little fucking like rubber stamp confirmation thing, blah, blah, blah. Okay, now get to work. With Trump, they held him up for months. For months. Every little position, every little thing was argued over. Every little person was scrutinized. Every decision was fucking like poured over, and and then he finally got everyone in place, and they had so many people that were like part of his cabinet that shouldn't have been in his cabinet because they were people who were working against him. So then they had to go through the process of weeding them out. And I don't think he ever got all of them out, because up until the end, when they were like, hey, pull the troops out of Iran or whatever. And they're like, yes, sir, the troops were pulled out of Iran, when meanwhile they were like had 20,000 troops in Iran. I forget the exact story about that. but obviously like they weren't telling him the truth and they were misleading the president of the United States, who's their commander in chief. Like, fuck, dude, heads need to roll over that shit.
Yeah, he didn't get to fire a lot of people because remember he kept firing every different person from different areas in the office.
Right, because there was people who were like working for him who were working against him. And I think probably not everyone who got fired fit under that fucking description, but I think a bunch of the people who got fired would fit that description.
There was a lot of people in his initial presidential candidacy that he allowed into cabinet positions that should have never been there to begin with.
Well, because I think he made a deal with the deep state.
Probably.
I think he got into office and he's like, look, I talked a big game to get into office, but I don't want to fucking change everything and make everyone's heads roll or whatever. So, like, I'll play ball with you if you play ball with me. And they're like, yes, sir, we'll play ball with you. And then he's like, cool, so here's the things that I'm giving you. Now give me what I want. And they were like, fuck you.
Yeah.
And I've been trying to fuck him ever since, dude.
I mean, there was evidence, they were afraid that, he's going to get back revenge on. I mean, some certain people even said that.
But, okay, revenge for what? And do they deserve revenge, or did they break the law? Or would he be using the law as, like, fucking, like, some kangaroo court banana republic thing that he's going after political dissidents for political reasons? Or would he be going after actual people who did political things that were illegal and use the power of the law and the laws that exist to go after them and prosecute them for the crimes that they committed? I mean, there's a pretty big difference between those two things. What we're seeing with Trump in office or in court rather right now is 100% kangaroo court banana republic fucking bullshit that should have never been allowed in this country, that's undermining the entire judicial system of our country, that's making our judicial system look like a joke. Not that it already wasn't. I mean, just look at the January 6th defendants and all that bullshit. Our fucking judicial system is a fucking joke. It's a sham. It's antithetical to the American people. It's against what the founding fathers of our country ever envisioned for our country. And the fact that it's allowed to exist in its current form is a testament to the fact of how many chemicals are in our goddamn water and food, making us complacent with whatever the state wants to do. Fucking clip that shit. Sorry. Winnie Howler's in the background.
Love it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But a lot of the deep state, they scared because he knows some of their secrets. They know who the players involved.
Well, even partway through Trump's presidency, you had Kushner and Pompeo going to Bilderberg on his behalf.
Isn't Kushner the son-in-law?
Yes.
Yeah. So he'll probably be involved.
I think he's dying.
Wasn't Kushner the guy who brought upon the Abraham Accords, who fucking brought peace, at least temporarily, to the Middle East, who did more for the like think about like when Obama got into office and he got the fucking Nobel Peace Prize for what? And then he dropped how many drone bombs and killed so many people and started wars and did all the things that he did. Trump is the only president in my entire lifetime who didn't get us into another military police action in another country or another war or whatever the fuck you want to call it. The entire time that he was a president, got us out of conflicts, created peace in the Middle East, walked across the border in North Korea, like without guards, by the way, right? Like fucking, he did so many things that were amazing as president that he gets no recognition for because, I don't know, it doesn't make the left look good and they control the media and everything else. Like, it's crazy what's going on with that. But, I mean, he deserves a Peace Prize more than anybody else that's gotten it as far as I'm concerned recently. I mean, prove me wrong on that. Or at least make an argument.
The amount that we have been lulled and cucked and whatever, not just through dietary means, but through the air, through the water. And just look at everybody with their damn phone, how bad it's gotten in the last 5 years. I mean, honestly, I think 5 years it's gotten so much more worse. It's just fucking horrendous how much people don't get off their phone. Like, they won't even have a human interaction. Even if you're right next to somebody on the couch, you're both looking at something different on your damn phone. It's bad to the point where, like, it's all in conjunction to basically pull the wool over your eyes, you know, with the modern and just the food intake.
Well, on that note, did you guys see that video the other day where that girl was talking about the comments between her and her boyfriend's social medias, and it was the exact same video, and it was being curated to them?
No.
Yeah, she was basically going on this whole tirade about how he had made like a video or something like that, and she was looking at her top comments on her phone, and then she's like, "Pull up these comments on your pull up the comment section on your phone," and it was totally different top comments for him.
One great big festering neon distraction. I have a suggestion to keep you all occupied. Learn to swim. Sorry, I've been listening to a lot of Tool lately.
You're a tool. But you're my.
I know Tool was talking about swimming.
Well, they're talking about California dropping off into the ocean. And if you want to survive it, you better learn how to swim. Because God's judgment is coming upon us. Like Sodom and Gomorrah. The first Pride celebration as depicted right here. Sometimes I fucking think about it and like all the injustice and the evil and the bullshit in the world. It's like, is it time for another flood?
Yep.
Yes.
What does the next flood look like? Do you guys know?
It'll be fire.
It's true. It'll be fire.
Yellowstone.
No, it's not Yellowstone.
Maybe those sunspots.
It's not sunspots.
Volcano.
All the red buttons at the same time.
That would be it right there, sir. Because we've got lots and lots of red buttons and lots of people who are itching to push them and lots of bunkers for people to go into after they push the buttons to save themselves while everyone else gets fucked. And guess what? We're everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
I'll find one of them fallout shelters.
I think that's why they don't really care. Like, oh yeah, stock your rice up, stock your little piddly fucking 55-gallon drum barrels of water or whatever it is that you have in your house, and you think that you're going to be prepared for what's coming. Because guess what, bitch? It's going to be way worse than you think. I honestly think that. Sorry to bring it down. It's true though.
Where's the
I mean, what do you think thermonuclear war looks like? Like, if you don't live in a city that's going to get nuked, which most of us do, in which case you don't really got to worry about it because you're only going to make it about 15 minutes to about an hour and a half, somewhere in there, right? But after that, for the people who don't live in those major cities, it's nuclear winter. You are dealing with a decade, perhaps, of time when there are no crops that grow. So all the animals die and all the fucking crops die. And unless you have it in your pantry already, unless you have 10 years worth of food. And guess what? Everyone who was still alive is looking for food. So that shit ain't going to last 10 years, even if you got 10 years worth. I don't know, man.
It just depends. Are they air burst? Are they ground burst? How many get through our defenses? How many work?
I don't think it depends, man. Because, like, here's the thing. I don't think there's such a thing as tactical nuclear warfare. Like, it might start as that. It was like, okay, we're going to shoot off a couple of nukes at a couple of their military bases in Russia, and we're going to blow up only the military bases and nothing else, at least as much as we can. And there's going to be tactical strikes. They're going to be these little tiny, like, nuclear warheads. And these nukes are going to be shot off and go off. And they're going to be like, well, they're shooting nukes at us, so fire the nukes. So they're going to fire everything. And then, like, yeah, we got defense systems, but shit's going to get through, so then we're going to fire back. And then China's going to be like, well, they're firing, we're firing. And then Iran and fucking Pakistan and everybody does, right? Because that's what every single simulation, that's what it shows. That's what happened.
But if you look at how many nukes have been tested throughout history, it's over 2,400 nukes have been tested above ground. And then another thing to think about, too, is the same scientists that like to shout about nuclear winter are also the same ones that talk about global warming and the ice age in the 70s. So I'm just saying I'm not promoting that it's great, but I don't think we're going to go into a decade-long nuclear winter if an exchange were to ever happen.
I mean, I could believe that maybe they're wrong about a decade or however long it lasts, but certainly, like, and yeah, we did set off a lot of nukes. 2,400, that's a lot, right? But they weren't all at the same time. and most of them were like the middle of a desert where there wasn't anything to burn, right? Or like in the middle of an
Ocean's Island.
ocean where like the only thing to burn was water vapor. So the water vapor turns into clouds, and then the clouds rain out, and that's the end of it, right? Versus Unuka City, the whole city burns, and the city turns to smoke, and then there's a city's worth of smoke in the air, and that's like that smoke lingers for a long time. And if you do that to thousands of cities at the same time, I think that there is such a thing as nuclear winter. And I don't know if it'll last 10 years or whatever, but certainly for a couple of years, you're not going to have any sunlight coming through to grow crops. You know, you're not going to be like ranching in Texas and hanging out.
Well, when Krakatoa went off in 1890, whatever, the year they wrote Frankenstein, it was 1 or 2 years of reduced crop growing time.
Yeah, it
And
was the year without a summer.
Yeah, it was the year Shelley, whatever her name, wrote Frankenstein that summer. But that was Krakatoa. That was the last supervolcano to blow. So I think that's probably our only comparison.
I don't think Krakatoa is a super volcano. I think Krakatoa is just a volcano.
I'll be fine in Nebraska.
Well, because I think there's only a couple of super volcanoes that are active left in the world right now. I mean, there's Yellowstone and there's one in the Philippines. There used to be one in Colorado, actually. Like, if you can see it on a map, it's like this huge fucking basin that blew up like 100 million years ago or something and coated the entire fucking Southwest with a layer of fucking rock like a mile thick or some shit fucking a million or 100 million years ago. Crazy. But it's not there anymore. It just fucking used to be there.
So what's over there now?
Mountains. It's in like southwest Colorado. Not quite all the way west, but South Colorado. I forget what it's called. Hold on, let's look that up since we're talking about it.
It's worth a Google.
Yeah, Krakatoa was not a supervolcano. No, it was 1883 when that happened.
La Guerta Caldera. Let's open it in maps. Switch to that. Yeah, like this is a big ass volcano. "10 miles wide." That's a pretty big volcano for just the mouth of it, 10-mile wide fucking mouth. Anyway.
I take it everything over there is really green.
See it down in Arizona Bay. Fucking Calhoun gets it. All right. Well, that was the first Pride Parade anyway.
Excellent.
Speaking of Pride Parades, have you guys seen the ones that are doing HIV rapid testing?
No, I've seen them fighting with the Palestinians.
Yeah, there's one going on here this weekend near me that's doing HIV rapid testing for like 7 hours, and I'm like, why?
Well,
the numbers are going up.
Well, notoriously, homosexuals transmit AIDS quicker than anybody else in the demographics. So
no, my question was like, are people just gonna fuck at this Pride Parade and then they're gonna go to HIV test after the fact? Like, what the fuck?
Maybe they want to get a clean test before they bone.
Yeah, maybe you get the clean test before, and then you're like, you put on the bracelet or whatever.
Who's paying for that though?
The taxpayers. We are.
I mean
usually something like that would be an organization it's like a 501c3 or whatever fucking nonprofit that you can donate to and get tax fucking deductions for. So billionaires have it as their pet project that they're like, oh, I need to pay a bunch of taxes this year. Here, let me donate another 10 million to this pet project of mine. And that way, like, I don't have to pay quite as many taxes, use it as a write-off. Usually it's shit like that, which makes it kind of government funded, but not directly, I guess. Gray area.
I really don't care, but it is kind of a weird thing.
One of the sponsors for this one is Jane Timken, the woman who ran for U.S. Senate here a couple years ago.
Well, I was going to say the HIV numbers are going up a little bit.
Yeah, man. Who do you hang out with?
Mm-hmm.
Shot Road, just tell Scott Wiener to put his dick away.
Jesus.
Who?
Here we have Han Solo, who is pro-gun, anti-government, and free market capitalist. And probably doesn't have AIDS.
I don't know. He hasn't got the test yet. Let's see the wristband.
Where's the bracelet? Why does he not wear the bracelet? Have you seen that episode of Seinfeld?
Yeah, it's a good
where
one.
there's the pride parade and then Kramer's there and he doesn't want to wear the ribbon.
Yeah.
Who does not want to wear the ribbon?
Well, technically it was an AIDS walk, wasn't it?
Yeah, whatever it was. Yeah.
Yep.
More than 4 million chickens to be killed in Iowa after officials detect bird flu on farm. How much of this do you think that they're like manufacturing as a way to limit the food supply and make food more scarce and make people have to like pay more money for shit and push people to like eat the bugs and live in the pod and that kind of thing?
That, but
The
I don't
majority
think
of it.
I don't think they're culling the chickens. I think they're like freeze drying them for their bunkers. I think
No,
they're pulling the
they're
food
gassing
supply
them.
away from us.
They gas them in dumpsters. This happened in the early 2000s in California. I know a bunch of guys that went down to go chicken gassing, and they got contracted out, and they basically gassed chickens in dumpsters and then dumped them in the local landfill. But they didn't gas all of them, so then they had to go hire people with 22s to go out and finish off the chickens.
Oh, sweet.
Wait, why are they gassing?
That'd be
chickens?
fucking fun.
That'd be my
Like, hey,
game.
we got like 10 million chickens that need killing.
Redneck season. Activate.
Honey,
Here's
grab
the
my,
key.
grab my 1022 with the binary trigger.
Matt said this wasn't our golden 5 guns. He was wrong. That'd be awesome.
I don't
you
know.
had
The guys I know that did that, they said it was a long time before they'd eat chicken again. But I know 4 or 5 guys that went and did that.
If you had to kill 10,000 chickens, what gun would you use?
RPG.
Flamethrower, of course. Then you'd have fried chicken.
Good answer. Bear
If
trap.
I'm getting paid, AR-15.
Yeah, I think like a full auto M16 would probably be the best.
Yep.
I want a street sweeper with drum mags. For the door.
Why not a minigun?
Ooh, yeah. There you go.
Sorry, I'm dying.
It's
All
just
Well, here we have Luke Rakowski from wearechange.org hanging out with the man himself, Alex Jones. I don't know when this picture is from, but they both look way younger. So this has to be from years ago.
It was probably
Mhm.
2002, 2003 place in there.
they were conspiratorializing at 12:48 in the a.m. Nice.
Speaking of which, did you hear they're shutting down InfoWars come June 14th?
I heard that they were trying to, but that they were putting. So what I heard was that they put some conservator in charge of InfoWars finances, right? And he got paid $50,000 a month to show up for an hour a week and make a few decisions about how they were getting money and where they were spending it, right? That was his job. And he came in and like canceled a bunch of their fucking sponsors and took down their revenue by like $12 million. So this guy was like an inside job kind of guy who was there to fucking take the business down and make them close. Because that's obviously what the entire point of the lawsuit and everything else that had to do with Alex Jones was to shut him down, because they tried to get rid of him on YouTube. They tried to get rid of him on Twitter. They tried to get rid of him on Facebook. They tried to get rid of him on everything. But they can't get rid of him because he's got his own website and he's got his own supporters that go to his website and order his products and support him, and they can't get rid of him. So this is their method of doing it. And they sent in the guy, and he basically tried to frame Jones and his lawyers by they took some money money in from some sponsor, and he was like, somehow or another, it was like, you keep the money, and Jones was like, no, you're trying to fuck me. No, here's the money. And they tried to give it to him, and he wouldn't take it. And then they made an injunction in the court saying like, hey, we're trying to give him this money, and they won't take it. And the guy didn't read the court injunction. And then a couple of months later, fucking like went to the court and said, like, yeah, they're hiding money from me, sirs, like, court. You need to punish this Jones guy because he's hiding money. And they looked at their fucking motions. They're like, no, actually, a couple months ago, here's the money that they said they were trying to give you and you wouldn't take. So they're taking the guy off of the fucking case and giving it back to Jones. But then they have to go through an arbitration process in the meantime to decide whether or not something else is going to happen. I was unclear about that part. But as far as I understand, the guy who was put in arbitration so far over the company, the hitman, the axe guy, is being taken off of the case because he lied to the court and said that that Jones wasn't giving him the money when he was actively trying to give him the money. And then they went to the court and made the filing saying like, hey, we're trying to give him the money and he won't take it. And that's what fucked him, because then he went to the court afterwards and made another motion saying like, here's the money they won't give me. And they're like, well, we have this motion from 2 months ago saying like they were trying to give you the money. So what's up with that? Anyway, so he's being taken off and it's been given back to Jones in the meantime. And I don't know if that's going to be temporary or permanent. But I mean, ultimately, if the creditors want any kind of money from him, they want the most money coming out of Infowars.com as possible. And that means having Jones part of the fucking thing, because he's the whole name. He's the face. He's what makes that company happen. And without Jones, what is Infowars.com? Nothing. Like, it's going to go away. Like, it's like Owen Schroyer and a couple other people who no one even knows, which they do good work. And I'm not like discounting them. It's just, they're not the money bringers. They're not the people who've been in it. They're not the recognition of the name that Jones has, that he's been there for, 25, 30 years now. Anyway.
They're just making the freaking frogs gay.
Yeah, I know that stream that he did the other day, he was talking about how he was the sole proprietor of whatever the LLC was.
Basically trying to protect them.
This isn't real. I'm sorry to say, but I wish it was. Adam Schiff pays Boy's family $7.6 million in damages. It's not real. Never mind. When I posted it, it didn't have the reader's context, so I thought it was real. Oh my God. Did you guys see this? Everyone's seen this by now, but let's watch it again.
Yeah.
Tell us, sir, Donald Trump refers to himself as a political prisoner and blames you directly. What's your response to that, sir? Do you think the conviction will tell us, sir?
God, dude, what a fucking thug.
Yeah, he's a fucking douchebag, dude.
Could you guys hear that or no?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. I want to slap the fucking teeth out of his mouth.
I heard her, but I didn't understand her.
Well, she was saying, tell us, sir, Donald Trump thinks that he's being persecuted because of your administration. Is that true? And then he like slowly turns like the fucking crypt keeper, Like, God, dude. Because the thing is, like, you would want that to not be the perception that the people have. You would want, like, if even if it was true, right? Like, especially if it's true, you would want everyone to think that it's not. And you would get up and say, like, I mean, the courts upheld that he was found guilty for the crimes that he committed. And, I'm going to stand behind the courts and the jury and their decision to do this. And in no way it was my administration that had anything to do with this charge or these crimes that have been committed. And obviously he needs to atone for, you know what I mean? Like that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Rather than the shit-eating grin, fucking, yep, I did it, fucking look. Like, you look like Wile E. Coyote, bro.
His campaign definitely looks like they came from fucking acne products. Jesus Christ.
Like, yeah, it's slowly, like this type of shit, you can see the country dividing slowly, but it's happening.
It's not slowly, man. We're hitting the fucking NOS and ripping the e-brake out, man. We're about to go.
Well, we haven't been doing pop shots at each other, so like,
yeah, just in Ohio.
This is what I want outside of my front door. At some point, like if it's Mad Max, I want a fucking Ring doorbell. And be like, look up. This is a Beretta 92 FS with a pneumatic trigger.
Yeah.
You will do what I say.
If you're at the Hood Market, it's a Glock with a switch with a 30-round ETS mag.
Or whatever.
Nah, they use 50-round drums now.
Oh yeah, I forgot those KGI fucking Korean ones. Yuck.
Probably.
KCI.
Yeah, that fucking junk.
Some
Dude,
of them
check out these
software.
porta potties. Check out these porta potties. So these are on the Mexican side of the border from America. You go in the border. I mean, you go in the porta potty. Nope, got to use the bathroom. Oh, on the wall are some instructions from the Biden administration. What was that?
Nice.
Reminder to vote for President Biden when you are in the United States. We need another 4 years of his term to stay open.
Great.
Todos con Biden. It means everyone with Biden. Yeah, that's crazy. Why are they letting so many people over the border? And I was looking at this interview with these like liberal leftist people that were like, I don't know, they were asking him questions about like, hey, what do you think about the how many people are coming over the border? Like, I don't see it's a problem at all. If the people want to come over, they should come over. Like, do you think they should be allowed to vote? Like, yeah, they should be allowed to vote if they live here. They should be able to vote the place that they live at. It's like, okay, game over, man. That's it. Like, no more to talk about. We're done. You guys win. Like, if that's the argument, we lose the argument there, then no other argument matters. Because like
Balkanization.
like voting's out. Because your vote no longer matters. Because they will just flood the fucking voting market with enough people to fucking make your vote drown out into fucking nothing. And that's the ultimate goal, I think, right? Or I mean, that's not the ultimate goal, but that's certainly the step that they're at right now, isn't it? What do you think the ultimate goal is? Is it the fucking guide stones?
There's been multiple cultures of guide stones. They figured shit out, and they're not going to let us figure it out.
Yes.
No, the Georgia guide stones, so that we're going to keep the population of the world under 250 million or whatever.
I mean, I don't think it'd be that exact number, but that ain't too far fetched.
Our good friend, They Will Eat the Bugs and Be Happy, Straight has a book he just published for 2050. World population will basically be 1 million. He wants 500,000 Chinese because they're the perfect slave type, and the rest will be not us. Straight out in an open book, so that's good.
Are you talking about
Swiss.
Mr. Klaus Schwab?
The man himself that eats the bugs, man. I didn't know what you can get in trouble with YouTube now because YouTube's being big gay fags. And that's not a hit at YouTube. That was a support for Pride Month, so that way that'll protect you from the algorithm, right?
I'm so glad you're here for these things.
You're welcome.
Anyway. Oh, this is funny. There's no way he could survive that. It's a little palette wash. No way you could survive that. Nope, no way you can survive that. Yep, definitely not living through that.
This is ruining all the Star Wars magic for me right now.
Yep, definitely going to not live through that one.
Oh, fuck, he's dead. This is ruining my childhood.
Yeah, there's no way he lived through that one.
Oh, yeah. That was the most ridiculous.
Oh, he's fucking dead.
That's pretty good. A little palate cleanser. A palate cleanser. Oh, happy Pride Month, everybody. Celebrate it with this picture.
He's holding it really fucking weird.
She.
Yeah.
There's your
Good
problem.
use of that
When
sling.
you're wearing that red hat, it's just
Good
looking like
use
a little kid.
Yeah, good use of that fucking
Dance
sling
to
work.
Who was it that got trolled for having the Audrey Hale edition something or another on Twitter the other day?
You know that they're pushing trans-colored bullets on Call of Duty right now?
Yep.
Yes.
Call of Duty will do anything. Let's be real. I'm surprised.
That's what
y'all
it
mad.
was. That's what it was, and they were calling it the Audrey Hale edition.
If
Did
you were a parent of a child who died at this school by a trans shooter, you think there's a lawsuit there?
There's
Yeah.
lawsuits everywhere right now.
Well, do you think they'd win that lawsuit?
Mind you, we
Probably.
still got,
Who do you see?
well, mind you, we still got COVID lawsuits and fucking all types of shit too.
Just saying.
Well, you definitely don't see the police department in this case because they actually went in like men with fucking balls and actually put this piece of shit down.
Yeah, how many did she kill before that happened, though? It was more than
6.
one. Yeah.
It was
Okay.
3 students, 3
At least-
teachers.
They didn't stand there and fucking sing Kumbaya and back-to-back circle jerk for 77 fucking minutes or whatever it was.
Or sorry, it was 3 students, 2 staff members, and a janitorial dude who was the first one killed.
We're not ever getting closure on Vegas, are we?
Nope.
And we'll never get the training festo either.
Man, it would suck to be like, man, I fucked up in life, but at least I got this job as a janitor at this high school.
First week, fuck, I quit. This is bullshit.
Well, the sad part was it was elementary school.
I saw this one. This made me happy. 15-year-old boy named Tamar Boggs chased down a car on his bike for 15 minutes to save a 5-year-old girl who was kidnapped from her front yard. And he was successful.
Good job, but who the fuck is kidnapping that kid? She's ugly. I'm just kidding. That was really dark humor. I'm sorry.
Man,
Is there there's kids that you would understand if they kidnapped there, buddy?
Yeah. Mm,
You'd look at them and be like, yeah, I get that one.
yep.
That makes sense to me.
Mm, yep. See how this is coming off really bad?
Yeah, I can really see that. Very clearly, actually, right now.
You see how I saved this dark humor for the very late chat?
So that event happened in 2013, and 6 years later, Tamar Boggs was actually in prison for armed robbery.
That kid?
The 15-year-old, yeah,
Oh,
went
come
to
on,
prison for
man.
armed robbery.
Well, I mean,
Man,
Is anybody else going to say it?
I don't think you should at this point. Whatever you're thinking about saying, you should just keep that one in the fucking cock holster. You know what I mean?
We'll save that one for next chat.
God, I got to duck out for 10 minutes for one phone call, and this is what I come back into. Jesus.
You're welcome. At least it wasn't during the phone call.
All right, here we have one of the world's largest fireworks, single blast bomb, like as far as a single firework, launched over Nagaoka, Japan.
Save that for the NEA chat.
mind you, I still need to get some fireworks from Vegas.
Damn.
It's a Dragon Ball. Oh, that's cute.
Dude, look at that thing. All right, first of all, look down
You
here.
know, they're building houses out of
Here's
sticks
like
and
10-story, 15-story buildings, I'm assuming, something like that, like normal size buildings.
Yeah, everybody under that's dead, right?
I'd love to pop that one in the hood, but they probably swarm around that area.
One time when I was a little kid, we went to a fireworks show, and they were like big ass fireworks, like like a proper fireworks show. And I was like 5 years old, and we're looking up at the fireworks, and a piece of ash or something, like a piece of a firework, fell out of the sky and directly into my eyeball.
Oh.
Yeah, that
And then my eyeball immediately swole shut. Like I had like someone punched me in the eye, and like a big old fat black eye without being bruised. It was just like it reacted, and it stayed shut for a week. Like whatever was in that fucking firework got me, bro. I'm gonna die of like eye cancer someday, and I'll know why.
hey, Muffin Top, imagine that one for a chaos cooler.
Yep. Boom. Ain't pulling shrapnel out of that leg, homie.
It's like
Speaking of that,
puff smoke. Wait, I got something better. Sorry, go ahead.
No. Check out William and Ravenshire's book. I have a new thing on my Discord. It's a free audiobooks. If you guys get tired of listening to this shitty fucking radio, go get a little critical thinking on. There's quite a few books in there. I added several today as well. I'm listening to one. It's like 40 some odd hours long, like 48 hours and some change.
So tell me what you guys think about this. Charges against Colorado couple accused of killing baby dismissed because of district. So basically, this couple neglected and killed their 6-month-old or something like that baby. You know, like they had like a 6-month-old baby together, and they like killed the baby in a bad way. Right? Baby died under bad circumstances. I forget the exact details. And during an interview, the district attorney said that she basically wished these people would get what they deserve and blah, 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 you know, because they're terrible people and this is what they did and it's awful. And now they got acquitted because she said that. Because the district attorney was showing that she had already come to the conclusion that they were guilty, or I forget exactly what the deal is, but they're acquitted. They're no longer charged with anything. 6-month-old baby dead. But since the DA said the wrong thing at the wrong time, they are now not getting charged. What do you guys think about that?
I think you got a lot of pieces of shit in Colorado.
Well, I see it as a bigger thing because I never understood this, but I guess probably it has to do with religion too. But I never understood that whole we have to, have like a certain holier than now on how we present ourselves when it comes to things, whether or not being the president, whether being an attorney. I mean, I understand you got to have some, professionalism, but I guess saying certain things kind of really get people agitated or really ruins things like this.
Well, I guess the issue here would be the constitutional right to have a non-biased trial in front of a jury of your peers. And if you have the district attorney of your area making public statements to local media about you, coloring anyone who reads that to think that you're guilty, then I think you could make the argument that while you can't dismiss the charges, perhaps being charged in this county under this district attorney or whatever should not be allowed, and that we should have the ability to change venues to some other district under a different attorney or whatever it is and have it tried there. Like, that would be the argument, I would think.
But wouldn't that not matter because that district attorney is going after him anyway?
No, because it would be a different fucking court. You know what I mean? Like, where that district attorney has no power. But they just drop the charges. Whatever. It's weird. I don't know. Man uses shower gun after burglar breaks in and while he's in the shower. I should buy a shower gun. If you guys are going to have a shower gun, what would your shower gun be?
Not that Taurus revolver, I can fucking tell you that.
One of my favorite ones is the meme of when the one guy has the piece of chicken, he's holding that G3. But I don't know, something nice and compact. But I've always said that always have one.
I mean, a shower gun, I would think inherently you would want two things out of it, right? You would want something that's not going to rust away because it's going to get wet, or it's going to be in a steamy room at least.
Mm-hmm.
And you would want something cheap because it's a shower gun.
I got it.
I mean, if it's really good quality and durable, I mean,
Shockwave Mariner.
I'm thinking a High Point C9. Like, the slide's made out of zinc. You're fine, bro. The frame is polymer. The slide is zinc. The only thing metal in there is the barrel. And I guess the springs.
Well, remember, they got them good boxes that can, survive moisture and stuff. But, yeah. But I've always saw that, never get caught when you're on the shitter, so.
Yeah, if you watch those abuse videos on High Points, those things can take quite a bit and still function. It's actually kind of impressive.
If I was going to buy, like, I don't know, maximum gun for my money to arm a whole bunch of people, it's not a bad idea to buy, like, 10 High Point C9s,
Yeah, if you're just arming people or, like, new shoot, a person probably never shot before, probably like, oh, here you go.
You could arm 10 dudes with a handgun for $1,600. That's pretty good.
like the old saying, when Mosins were $90 or whatever, you could arm your neighborhood for the crate. Oh,
Yeah,
those were the
you can spend
those were the
$1,000
days.
on Mosins and have fucking 10 people armed. Yeah.
And those were some powerful calibers for that.
Well, I think if you were buying 10 fucking high points at a time, you might get a deal on the price too. So the $160 price might be like $120 or whatever.
Yeah, you buy 10, they throw the back surgery in for free for carrying them out the fucking door.
They are pretty bulky.
I bet you'd probably get a visit too from your local 3-letter agency that we don't like. If you bought 10 of them.
From multiple
Oh, yeah.
agencies.
What KFC want to do with any of them high points?
So did you guys hear about this Minnesota mass shooting?
No.
Not Shaq.
Should I say it now?
No.
Ohio, do you know anything about this?
First I'm hearing of it.
All right. Well, I didn't know anything about it. I just reposted it, hoping someone would know about it, and I don't know anything either. So never
Because
mind.
he's Muslim descent?
Oh, and this is because of the Trump trial. There's a good little meme going on here, or whatever. I feel it's very apt. Never forget the legend who did this at the height of the COVID lockdown. He put a fucking scarecrow on the beach with a fishing pole.
Not all heroes wear capes.
Got him.
Oh, that's so good, dude.
Oh wait, I guess I did hear about that Minnesota one the other day. Yeah, he basically ambushed a bunch of cops and killed them, and a couple civilians too.
So kind of like the Dallas stuff, 2011, 2012.
I mean, this shit's just becoming so much more common, and the people are blaming it on the guns when it's the guns have been here forever. The problem is that we have new populations of people and new ideologies going on at the same time.
Bunch of hopped up crazies too.
And here's the next problem: is we might shit talk cops on here, but they're really the last line of defense until we basically have UN troops for martial law in here, dude.
If things get bad enough, yeah.
Yeah. Well, when enough cops retire and the job's not worth it, I mean, just saying.
Yeah, even I can't help you.
Well, if they recalled all military back to the United States right now and had them pair up with cops, they could only lock down 6 major cities in this country indefinitely. Oh, sorry, 6 major cities in the country. I think I said it right. Sorry, I'm a little bit high right now.
Well, yeah, it's going to be the important ones.
Donald Trump was convicted before anyone on Epstein Island's client list. This is why our country doesn't trust our current government.
Yep.
This is
Where's
one
our
reason.
list from February?
Yeah, we still don't have it. We were supposed to get it back in January, remember?
Oh, January. Excuse me.
Yeah, it's now fucking whatever.
6 months later.
It's never coming out.
Prosecutors got Trump, but they contorted the law. Yeah, to get him on a unique charge with an underlying crime that was never named specifically, the judge gave them a choice of 3 different crimes that they could choose from, and if any one of them fit in their mind, then guilty. And so if guilty of one, guilty of them all, with this crime, which under any other circumstance would have been a misdemeanor and outside of the statute of limitations, but since they contorted the law, as they say, they trumped up the charges, as it were, to make it fit the crime that they wanted him to be guilty of, and then put him in front of a court that was highly biased towards the prosecution and away from the defense, and granted motions for the prosecution that were ludicrous, and fucking denied motions from the defense that should have been granted at any other fucking court in the world would have been, and then put them in front of a jury of 12 people that already had preconceptions about Trump. They went into their social medias. They knew who these people were. They vetted them. They knew which ones they wanted for the trial. The very few people in New York City who would actually find Trump not guilty would be very easy to find and fucking weed out. And that's exactly what they did, to make sure that they didn't have a single person on that. And if you don't think that these people, would have gotten a threat if they even thought about fucking saying that Trump wasn't guilty, you're wrong. And if the people might someday show up with a rather large substantial deposit in their bank account, that also wouldn't surprise me. But I digress.
Did all the jurors start looking at really expensive trucks at the same time?
No, those were the New York City police. No, what is it?
Correctional officers.
Guards. Yeah, there we go. That was hard to say. Oh, damn it. I did it a third time. Fuck me. All right, find Angry Trump.
Go back down where it ruins my childhood with Star Wars.
Angry Trump.
Did you guys see that Merrick Garland was in front of a congressional review board or something in the last couple of days, and he straight up admitted that Jack Smith is not supposed to be on the Trump case at all, and that's all fucking bullshit?
You know, I don't even think that's angry Trump. I think it's just wore out Trump for being railed so fucking hard.
Here's the worst Democrat in my area, at least. Representative Jason Crow. We are in the middle of a mental health crisis for our young people, and it should be a national priority. Met with Children's Colorado leadership to hear about the work they do in child and adolescent mental health benefiting our community. To which I said, maybe you shouldn't have shut down the country and put children in isolation to extend the lives of the terminally ill by a few months. Maybe. Go fuck yourself. Fucking hate that guy.
Do you guys remember a few years ago when Jason Crow went to the Highlands Ranch after they had that shooting there and tried to blame the guns, and people called him out and they were like, mental health, motherfucker, and then walked out on his ass?
Yep, I do remember that. I also remember when January 6th happened and Nancy Pelosi was on the floor laying down. He laid down on top of her to protect her for a photo op. Remember that? I remember that. That was same Jason Crow.
I think he was also one of the ones that was part of that stupid-ass documentary. I forget what it was. It was the one where they were shit-talking the vets and threw January 6th stuff in there.
I'd be so afraid of a piece of this plastic like dripping down on my arm when I'm shooting this thing. It'd burn the fuck out of you.
I'd be holding it a little bit more level. Ooh! Oh, there went the gas. Gas tube went.
As designed. I mean, that you can see that barrel's fucking drooping, though.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's not straight anymore. But, yeah, like, that's the way they're designed, is that gas is supposed to go out before anything else. And apparently just before, because it looks like the rest of it was about to go out.
F in the chat for that poor A4.
Dude, look at this. 2016, 2024. Same two people 8 years later.
Jesus, that bitch has like 12 fucking elbow creases.
Isn't one of them dead now?
Hopefully.
I don't know who these people are, but she was attractive here. Look at her. She's like a cute girl.
Nikakava Adakava.
Yeah, Nick Avocado's the one on the right.
There's a lot of these people that were doing the ASMR stuff that are dying now because they're just eating themselves to death.
Well, I mean, I guess if you're going to do like a YouTube food thing, you should probably like spend the rest of your time in the gym or something. I don't know.
I mean, like, maybe don't order 40 fucking pounds of chicken strips would be step one.
I just find it weird that those two people collab because I know that the person on the right does his own thing. I thought that person quit, I think.
You recognize them like here or here?
Both. I watch both. It's kind of hard to stop. It's like watching a disease-ridden fucking thing just succubate itself.
Is that really the same chick, though?
I don't know who the chick was, but
I think it's a different woman, honestly.
The guy is well known for a lot of reasons.
Yeah, he was eating 7 avocados a day when he was skinny, and he said he was a vegan. He's like, this is all I need to sustain myself. Now he's over here smacking down fucking Raisin Canes.
I will say,
he was doing that like food stuff, and he was getting a lot of money off of that, and you know him and his his boyfriend didn't like him being fat and shit, but he kept going back into it.
Avocados are delicious, but 7?
Jeez, and that's it. Yeah, where's the salsa? Jeez,
shit, I need more than 7.
It, dude. 7 avocados. That's a fuck ton of avocados. Jesus,
I like avocados. I need more than 7.
Yeah, but in this economy, Jesus.
Mm-hmm. Used to have avocado tree.
All right, listen to this. Listen to this. So at the very end, here's Lizzo getting roasted by fucking South Park.
Oh, no, I talked to my doctor. He said insurance would only pay for those if I had diabetes.
But if you can't afford them, then how are you managing your weight?
Don't you know, Sheila? Now there's a whole new obesity drug for those of us who can't afford Ozempic and Mounjaro. I've controlled all my cravings to be thinner with Lizzo.
Oh, it's Lizzo. And it costs 90% less than Ozempic.
I've lowered my standards and my expectations.
In case studies, 70% of patients on Lizzo no longer cared how much they weighed.
I don't give two shits.
Lizzo helps you eat everything you want and keep physical activity to a minimum. Some patients report constipation while listening to Lizzo. Stop listening to Lizzo if you experience...
Shut your mouth. That's why you're getting fat.
Look how mad she is, bro.
That's a great episode of South Park, by the way.
I actually haven't seen it yet.
Oh, you need to see it. It's really good.
Yeah, avocados are pretty super fatty, though, honestly.
So's Lizzo.
They're good for you.
7 avocados is 1,630.
And they're good for your nuts, too.
Yeah, that's a lot. Like an avocado has a fair amount of calories in it. It does.
Is South Park funny again?
Yes. Yeah, it's been funny for a while.
I kind of fell off about 5-6 years ago and just kind of haven't quite followed it again.
Catch up on the last 2 years. You won't regret it.
South Park has never been not funny.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
I mean, I guess maybe if you go back to season 1 or something, the first couple seasons are okay. Like, they're not as poignant as they don't really like, they're not in the groove yet, you know? But once they get in the groove of, like, talking about, like, current events and things going on and the ridiculousness of the world and, like, whatever, like, that's when those are the best episodes, honestly. When they're just, like, talking about how ridiculous shit is now. And those dudes are from right the fuck down the street from me. Like, the gun store that I go to is in South Park, Colorado. Well, there's actually technically 2 South Parks, because there's South Park, the actual area of Colorado, because there's North Park, Middle Park, and South Park, which are parts of the mountains, which are parts of Park County, right? So there's that South Park, which is technically where the cartoon is based, is in South Park, Colorado. The town of South Park does not exist, though. Unless you're right outside of Inglewood, there's a little area called South Park, which is basically a shopping strip area and like a little fucking neighborhood and, you know, like a high school right there, which is Columbine High School, which you guys might remember got shot up in 1994, 96, 98, I forget. 1998.
Oh, so Columbine was in Colorado. Oh, okay. I don't know where I was at.
And that's where Trey Parker and Matt whatever fucking went to high school.
Well, so you already got me, but you got Inglewood.
You get your guns at Jimbo's?
No. But that's where they went to fucking high school, dude, was Columbine High School. Did you guys know that?
Yes, I did.
No.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. All right. On that note, I'm out of fucking things to talk about. We've been going 2 hours, which is a little bit longer than we normally go. But since we didn't do a chat on Sunday there, sorry about that. Again, dude, I'm dealing with some personal shit. I don't really want to talk about it. It sucks. I wish I wasn't. It's been taking up a lot of my time and a lot of my concentration. And when I have time and, you know, I'm very frustrated with things and it sucks and I can't do shit about it. And I'm working through it and things will be okay. Just they're not okay right now. And I appreciate you guys for sticking around and not fucking, you know, prying too much into it and being dicks about shit and etc. Anyway.
Mm-hmm.
All that being said, I do appreciate you guys being here. We will see you guys next time. Hit that like button. All that good shit. We'll see you on Sunday or whenever we see you next week. And deuces, y'all. Shall not pee in fridge. Troopa shopping out of pressure. Batakath care. Protect the troops. 2 words. Made in America. And I always forget the last one. It's harder to say this last one. I'll let him do it. I'll let him do it. It's this one.
We'll teach Donald Trump a valuable lesson. Don't mess with the women in America unless you want to get the benefit.
I still got to get that one down. But anyway, thanks, guys. Later.
Cyber crystals.